Hello, goddesses. Hey, am I sounding okay? How y'all doing? Okay, sounds like everything is good. I'm checking my other account to see how I'm sounding here. Think I'm sounding good. Welcome, goddesses. Come on in. Time for our inspired goddess morning. Let's go. You have your morning beverage. What are you drinking? Come on in, G-Hive. Hey. Take this down. Hey. Hello, greetings. How are you? This is Tirra Omilade. I'm Tirra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know, I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Today, we are going to have our Inspired Goddess Morning Circle. Yeah, I'm excited. Glad to be here. You know, I knew April was going to be a time where I started feeling a little bit more normal. Today, I was kind of like, okay, I feel, a little inspired and, I have a little pep in my step. So, yes, so glad to be here. Hello to all of you who are here live. Greetings, G-Hive. Maybe you're G-Hive on replay. G-Hive, what does it stand for? Goddess. We are all things goddess here. And to yes, to all of the replay goddesses, if anyone is new, hello, you are welcome here. We're a loving community, a beautiful community of women, and yeah, we are all about tapping into divine feminine power, tapping into wisdom, using ancient wisdom, ancient technology, so that we can live our best lives. All right. Let me just say again, good morning to everyone. Grand Rising, Minister Eileen Ocean Kimmy. Okay. Well, you rest well once you're there, because wow, working, getting off after being up all night. I get that. Wealth Rising, Keita May, how are you? And I was thinking about you this morning. You need to let me know about those candles, sis. You need to let me know about those candles. You know, I love me some candles. I would love to buy some of your candles. Hi, Natasha. How are you, goddess? So glad that you are here. Mystic Storm is in the house. How are you, goddess? Hello, Just Bliss. So happy to see you here. I hope that things are going better for you this week. Oh, Dark Diva in the house. How are you? Welcome, Queen. So happy you are here. And to just everyone who might be, I don't know if everybody has spoken this morning, but if you're here, greetings, greetings, greetings. Let's see here. Did I turn the music off? I just need to make sure. I should. I'm pretty sure I did because I can't hear it, but I just get paranoid some days. Okay. Yeah, I saw that Natasha is drinking her matcha, I think it was. No, Malta. And I have my homemade sparkling water that I'm excited to partake of this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on ahead and we're going to stitch in like we typically do. And I also want to look at the monthly astrology a little bit today together. And yeah, do a reading because yeah, I know I'm good at all of that. um, if you are interested in getting your alekes, then I'm gonna put it inside of my Inspired Goddess community on Mighty Networks. I'm a little paranoid about putting things out publicly like that because yeah, I don't want to work with just anybody. I want to work with I'm picky about that kind of thing. I'll put it that way. But I'll put it there, and it's in my newsletter. If you get my newsletter, also I sent out a message. If you haven't been opening my newsletters, and you got a message saying, "Hey, you going to still stay on my email list?" April 5th. If you're still not opening the email, then I'm scrubbing my email list. It's just part of business. You just have to do it. You can't keep a whole bunch of people on your email list who aren't opening the emails. Number one, you pay for everybody who's on your email list. Number two, it hurts your open rates. Okay. So nothing personal, just gotta, keep my email list healthy. But if you go to the last 2 emails that I sent out and you want to be a part of it, you can. It is something new, so if you've already gone through the like initiation with me and you want to go through this new version of it and just get a refresher, I'm gonna give all of those who already have their leques and you got them with me, or I know you and who you got your leques through, but you could go through at half price, okay? Um, let's see here. Go on ahead and write your name and what you are stitching in with. I am Tyra, and I am stitching in with just excitement and energy. It feels good to feel this way. It's been it's been rough. It's been rough, rough, rough. Um, so yeah, if you would just go on ahead and stitch in, and thank you for being here. Even if you're on the replay. And also, I just want to take time to just bring the energy of the circle just in for those of us who are here, whether you're watching live or via the replay. I just want to bring the energy of the circle to where it's just for us. So, the first thing I want to do is just invite you to tune into your inner goddess, the wisdom that lies within you, and just really be present to that energy. Be attuned to it, in tune with it. And the next thing that I want to do is to invite in our ancestral mothers, sit here with us, lead us, guide us, direct us. If there are any dark ancestors hanging around, you cannot stay. I send you on your way with light and love towards your healing. I want to also just call in the goddesses from time memorial, all of the women who've just done great things in the world, sit here with us in council, calling in the energy of the ancient mothers of the North, the South, the East, and the West, as well as calling in the energy of the great mother goddess herself to be here with us. Help us to understand what is it that we need to know to continue to make this week the best week we can possibly make it. If you are struggling, to give you a word to help keep you moving, to be a beacon of light for women everywhere. No matter when you find this video, it is for you today, right now. And also, I'm calling in the energy of Herakahuti Ogun, the warrior energy, Mars, Aries. We're calling in the energy of our masculine ancestors to surround us and protect us in this virtual sacred cipher. Guard the door as we women work our magic. And may the only thing that happened today be for our highest and our greatest good. And we say, Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. So I've lit our candle, and I just want to see who is here. Oh, good. Good morning. Cleaning Airbnb this morning. Okay, nice. Yes, you pay for each person. I mean, it's like you get so many people who can be on your email list. So, if you're paying for if you're paying one fee, it might be for 1,000 people. So if you have a significant number of people on the email list who aren't opening the emails, you're paying for people who are not appreciating the emails that you're sending out, is how I see it. I put a lot of work. I know I'm not as consistent as I plan to be with my email, but whenever I send an email out, I have to do a lot of work. And so, I heard one coach say it's a privilege for people to be on your email list. For me, I feel that way because I don't send out junk. And so if people don't want to open my emails, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. But I'm gonna make room for other people. That's I guess a good way of looking at it. I am Natasha and I'm stitching in with power. Yes. I am Bliss and I'm stitching in with love, support, and patience. Love that. I'm Bella. I'm stitching in with hope, love, and empathy. So wonderful. I'm stitching in Mystic Storm. I'm stitching in with grounded flow. It seems like that's what you wanted last week. So I'm impressed. Um, Manuka Tarot 7. Hi. I am Irene and I'm stitching in with fearlessness and faith. Love that, Manuka Tarot 7. Thank you, Irene. Thank you so much, everybody. So, yes, let us go on ahead. And I think I'm just going to go on ahead and start with the astrology. And yeah. So I just want to let y'all know I'm going to look at the April astrology. And so once I'm done talking about it, then I will talk a little bit more because I'm gonna have to edit this part of the video out. So yeah. So let's go on ahead and look at the April 2025 monthly wisdom and astrology. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take this down really quickly. So for me, if you open the emails, that's fair. I don't actually care when you open the emails. There's a little part of the email list where it's just like there's no engagement. And I go a long time before I scrub my email list. And some of these people, quite frankly, are on the list. Maybe half of them are on. It's like a little segment, and the email provider lets me know these people are not engaging with your emails. But some of these people are on this list because Gmail or Google or something, maybe it's a Apple. I don't know. It's like they're gonna penalize you or something, and I don't know. It was sort of like a partly a strategy that had something to do with big tech corporations. But then another part of the list is another group of people on this list because they never open my emails. And I've gone a very long time. And I just feel like, you know what? I'm just going to make room for new people to come on. But I did send it. If you didn't get the email from me, then you may want to check. Then you're not on the list where I potentially will scrub you. And I told everybody you get until April 5th. But even if you open them late, I don't care about that. I thank you for that. I'm Keita May, and I'm stitching in with gratitude, grace, and ease. Okay. Just go look and see because I sent an email out, but you never know. My emails may be in your like your spam email, or Google puts things in groups. So I might be in, somewhere where you're not seeing the email, and you can just add me to your contacts list. So that would help. So maybe it's good for me to kind of go over this with everybody and let everyone know. So you can look for it, but you could always get back on the email list if you want to be on the email list. Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about the April 2025 astrology, and I'll do a reading to go with it. So let me go on ahead and pull up the calendar. Okay, so I'm going to largely just focus, whenever I do the monthly astrology, the um, I look at the overarching what do you call them, transits. I don't look at the small little day-to-day weekly ones. But the number one thing I do want to say is we're starting out this month at a very historic time. Okay. And it's historic in the sense that we have Neptune, excuse me, yes, Neptune has moved into Aries. I know I hate the ads. Neptune has moved into Aries. Whew, we're here. Neptune and Aries. Wow. Amazing. It's 0 degrees. So every time a planet gets back to 0 degrees of Aries, it is truly a new beginning. And this planet is, we have witnessed it coming to 0 degrees of Aries, where a long time ago, people would never imagine that they were going to see Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries again. So, we're seeing the beginning of the Neptune cycle. Like for me, Neptune is in Sagittarius. Neptune is in Sagittarius. For some of y'all, maybe the millennials, Neptune is in um, Capricorn. My kids, I think, are Neptune and Aquarius. So Gen X, a lot of Gen X is Neptune and Aquarius. And then, maybe Gen X, Gen Alpha, they have Neptune and Pisces. Okay. And so, like, nobody alive has ever seen Neptune. We were on the back end. All of us, me and all of you who are younger than me, we've been on the back end of this thing. All right. Some of the Gen Xers have Neptune in like at 29 late degrees of Scorpio, because my husband has it there. But none of us have ever seen this. We're at the beginning of a Neptune cycle. It is historic. It is literally historic. And this happened on March 30th. So we're starting the year, April out with adjusting to Neptune, which is watery and it's the ocean. It's very spiritual. It's like magic and miracles and creativity. It's the subconscious mind. It's being connected to the divine. Other things is it's cloudiness, it's fogginess, it's the inability to see. It's like you have to have a lot of faith. Somebody mentioned faith today. You have to have a lot of faith. It's scammy. It could be it has to do with lies because it's illusions. So illusions and lies, however you want to look at it. And now this planet is in this very active sign, Aries. It wants to take action. It's all about fighting, and it's new beginnings. It's spring. So it's like the dawning of a new age to a certain degree, the dawning of a new beginning that we have never seen before. And this, even though I do believe there's very little bit of new things on the earth, that part of, I can't remember where it came out of the Bible, but that part I actually do believe. There's nothing new under the sun. Maybe different variations. It happens at a different time, very little new. But in a way, there is a little bit of something new is unfolding for us. There is the dawning of a new age. And April is the beginning of that. So I want y'all to really open yourself up for what are the new beginnings that you can experience in your life? What are the new miracles that you can open yourself up to? And I want y'all to see it as like there's stages of this. All right. So it's like you're at the beginning stage. You're going to have several opportunities because Neptune is going to leave that 0 degree. I think it maybe gets to 1 or 2 degrees of Aries, and then it's going to go back over that 0 degrees into Pisces, and then next year it comes back into Aries again. So that 0 degree button, it's going to get pushed multiple times, and Saturn is making its way to that 0 degree button. The sun has just been there. Venus and Mercury, push that button, push it with their retrogrades. We even recently had the North Node was there because the North Node had been in Aries. So there's like just that 0 degrees of Aries. The button just keeps getting pushed. And that's one of the reasons I want y'all to understand. Let me tell you, Neptune is the planet of dreaming. You cannot give up on your dreams. You have to continue to believe. What is Aries? Fight for your dreams, goddesses. You have to believe in them. You have to have the courage and the bravery to go for the dreams that you have for your life. Neptune is ideals. What are the ideals that you stand for? What kind of world do you want to live in? And Aries is all about you. So I want you to think about, um, you know, this is your world. You are in charge of you and the things that you get, the choices you get to make, the decisions you get to make every day for yourself, about you and the world that you live in. You've got to fight for it. You've got to have the courage to live it. You've got to believe in these ideals. Okay? So even if you're not wanting to do much with the collective, which in my mind is kind of hard to not be focused on the collective at this point because there's so much collective energy happening, especially with uh Pluto being in Aquarius. What you can understand is focus on you and what you can do, the difference you can make. Why are you born? Neptune is all about understanding like this higher purpose. What is your divine reason for being here? And so it's like get in touch with that. Talk to spirit, talk to the great mother, ancestors, whatever higher power you connect with. And it's all about let me do what I can do, and that in fact will help with the collective. Okay, but it's the ideals, you got to fight for that. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now. We also had an eclipse that happened at 9 degrees of Aries. When I tell y'all, this is a time that it is an opportunity, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, I have really struggled with what is happening in the world. I've had my own personal things happening in my life, and it has been I've been on a struggle bus. I really have been. Um, but the one thing that I know is that nobody actually really knows. This is my belief. Let me put it this way. The one thing I feel certain about is nobody actually really knows what's going to happen because it is at such a time that is it is there's just so much about new beginnings happening. Okay, so I want y'all to understand, April, spend this month thinking about where am I headed, what am I going to do. We got to get unstuck from being in the past. We need a breakthrough. We need a breakthrough in us. And so this starting the month out with this eclipse energy, it's helping you to see this is where you're going to have to take some action in your life and get that freaking breakthrough. All right. I'll just take a time to plug my Soul Alchemy membership. I created a video to talk about that inside of the Soul Alchemy membership. Something I need to do is to add this. It's all about being bold. So I'll be adding that this week. Sometimes people think I give them too much content. And so I'm trying to not do that. So yeah, anywho, it's a time for being bold. And that's something that I'm focused on inside of the membership. So I invite you to join the membership. There's details in the description box. So it's time to be bold. And April is going to give you an understanding of what it is that you need to be bold about in your life. What bold action do you need to take to really get this reset and this new beginning solidified? I believe we cannot just completely and totally map out every little detail of our lives because there's so much in our destiny is so buried deeply, is buried so deeply in us. We don't see the fullness of it. And sometimes we might be, kind of not living up to our full potential. And things will happen that will be pushing you to get on your path. But let me tell you something. I would rather set new moon intentions every time and give the universe something to shoot for than to just kind of feel like I'm playing, a game of chance with it. And not giving it something. So set the intentions knowing that there's a lot of unexpected things that will lie ahead of us, but everything is working in your favor. So you have to remember this is how we are starting the month out, even though this all, these two events happened right at the very end of March. So we're gonna have, let's see here, Mercury goes direct on the 7th. Woohoo! This Mercury retrograde, I don't know. Maybe this has been a little bit of a wild Mercury retrograde because I got hacked. Venus and Mercury retrograde. Somebody put some fraudulent charge on my credit card to Disneyland, I think it was, or some theme park, $699. I'm like, who got my card? Who did this? What is this? Yesterday, well, the night before, we started seeing all this water on the first floor of the house. I'm like, what is going on? So we had to have a plumber come by and fix the plumbing. Mercury and Venus retrograde in Pisces. So yeah, Mercury is no telling. I would love to see in the comments, what have you noticed with this Mercury retrograde? Um, You definitely could see stuff with water, but it could be some accidents happening too, like maybe even with people's cars, but like bumping yourself, like actual, accidents that affect your body because Aries is the body. So yeah, Mercury will be going direct. And then we have to remember once Mercury goes direct for the rest of the month, we're still dealing with Mercury retrograde shadow period, which is all about integration. Okay. So you're going to be integrating between two houses, going to be integrating between from Mercury being in Pisces, subconscious mind, more of the inner world, and then Mercury, you're integrating Mercury in Aries, which has to do with the body, taking action, some type of new beginning. Again, I watch replays all the time. I don't believe in watching a video one time. So I invite you to join my membership because you can go back and watch the video, the class that I created talking about Mercury retrograde. And that way you can really take advantage of this time period. Okay. Um, I thought Venus went visible on the 13th. I've been seeing that Venus is visible in the sky already. I don't really know how to determine that other than I guess I'll have to start looking at astronomers to see when she became visible. So if she's already visible, that is great because she goes direct on the 12th. I just kind of guessed at it like, okay, well, she's getting further and further away from the sun. Maybe she's visible. Yeah, because that's me. I typed that in there. So Venus goes direct on the 12th, on the same day as that full moon in Libra. So the full moon in Libra, I can assure you, is going to be highlighting some area of your life that you've been asked to release and let go of something. Okay. Because we've had the south node of the moon in Libra. So that means the eclipses had been happening in Libra until recently. So, and that was asking you to release and purge. It's almost like our Libra house, it's a clean slate has been wiped. And I want y'all to, at that moon, to look at what has been wiped clean. What is the universe is showing you where it's like a huge reset? Yeah, in general, we can say this has to do with relationships, um, balance and harmony, contracts, agreements. So those are like some of the general terms that we would use for Libra. And some of it is like, where is it happening? For me, it's happening in the 12th house because I'm a Scorpio rising. So you just want to know what house is that Libra house for you, and you will know where this happened. So maybe you already know astrology. If you're not really into astrology, and I know I'm talking about my membership a lot, but if I don't do it, then nobody's going to know that it's there to join. And it's true. I created a class specifically about that eclipse. So you can go back and listen to see what is this all about, and then you're able to kind of understand, What is it that what area of my life has been wiped clean in this regard? I do find it interesting that the planet that rules Libra is Venus direct. Venus is going direct. Venus rules Libra. She's going direct on the 12th and on the same day. And so there definitely is this energy about revisiting something because that south node is not like going in a new direction. That full moon in Libra is not highlighting something where you've been going in a new direction. It's been high. It would be highlighting something that it's like, to me, the south node is sort of like spring cleaning, and you need a reset. There's a level of detachment that you need. Okay. And Venus moving now direct, that means that she is revisiting topics that she has been focused on. So other things that you could be really hyper focused on the 11th, 12th, and 13th would be money topics. It's like this double energy around relationships. So who has been dealing with relationship topics? It's got to be a lot of us dealing with relationship topics. It could be like with siblings, cousins, friends, coworkers, neighbors. Sometimes it's one-to-one relationships, like with your life partner or with a business partner. I even see the one-to-one relationships is like your besties, the people that you have a deep relationship with. Um, I also see it as the collective, your community. Maybe you're a part of some big group, and something has been coming up with this group. Like, do I want to be a part of this group? Or why did I leave from working with this group? I find it interesting. I just watched, this is a good example. No shade being thrown on anybody, but I just watched a video where a young man talked about the problematic nature of Greek letter organizations. And so maybe for him, this has been a time that he's been focused on, like, I need to admit this has been problematic. And he makes documentaries, so he made a documentary about it. So it could be something like that, that a big collective group that you've been a part of, and you just got questions, or you need a reset or something like that. So, I'm just giving all types of relationships that Venus could be bringing up, even though she's typically one to one. We're gonna look at them all. Okay, so what is that? Because it's a double energy of relationships on that day. We'll just say around that time. And let's see here. Okay, I said money, relationships. She also has to do with self care, how you look, again, harmony, and balance. So maybe some of us are kind of like, especially with the Libra, the harmony and balance. Where are you? What's this bringing up for you? Where are you lacking harmony? And of course, it could be inner harmony, or where are you lacking balance in your life? I've heard a lot of people talking about, I'm just not in balance right now. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. So this could be a time where you're hyper focused on those topics. Okay. Let's see here. So full moon on the 12th. I'm just going to go on ahead and talk about this new moon because I found it interesting when I was doing the readings for the ladies who are in my coaching program. Um, the 27th, new moon in Taurus. Both moons, both lunations in April are ruled by Venus. This is a very Venusian month. So all the topics that I have brought up, these are very important topics that we will be focused on in the month of April. And I just encourage you, pick one. Just pick one. You don't have to try to solve it all. You don't have to try to figure it all out. If there is something that's really standing out for you in this regard, then you know that that's what you want to hyper focus on in the month of April. Now, new moon in Taurus, for sure, this is all about manifestation. It's about money, personal finance. Um, Any material possessions that you own. This is a new moon because it's the new moon. You want to be setting intentions around that. And you want to think about what is your life calling you to do in order to, when it comes to money, personal finances, and material possessions. What are you being called to do? Now, Taurus is also about food. So for some of us, it's setting new moon intentions about what are you eating? Do you need to eat more healthy food? Do you need to take some time to eat food that tastes a little bit better? Is a moon, Taurus moon, I'm not doing a good job of making food enjoyable. It just feels like something I need to do. So that's a little bit on my toes. So I'm gonna set a new moon intention around creating more ritual, maybe around um, cooking for myself. I see why as people get older, you almost feel like you don't need to cook once your kids are grown. It's like, why? But I'm too much of a conservationist, and I don't just like eating anybody's food. I don't know what kind of energy you put in my food, so I'm gonna have to do better myself. So yeah, it's all about food and self-care. It's about self-worth and self-value. So maybe this is a month where some of us will be looking at that, and it's coming up through the subconscious mind so that we can take some action around it. Taurus has to do with your values. And if you haven't, I always tell people at the new moon in Taurus, if you have not sat down and looked at your values, it's time for you to do that. Every year at the Taurus new moon, we want to look at our values. Because let me tell y'all something, queens. Where your values lie is where your actions will go. I don't care what anyone says. You're going to do what you value. That's what it means to be human. And you can shift your values. You're not just stuck with the values that you have. Like, for instance, for me, if I really value eating healthy food, I'm going to take the time to actually make it. I know for a fact something in me clicked once my kids left home. If I don't have to cook, I'm not going to cook because I got tired of cooking when I had to. It's like you raise kids for a long time. I was in it 21 years. First, they got milk from my boobs. Then I had to cook for them. I'm like, I got to cook too. I started my kids cooking at the age of 4, both of them. I was like, let's get down here. You got to learn how to cook. Mama's not going to be doing this for you all the time. Plus, ladies like a man that likes that can cook. So I just say that a little jokingly, but anywho, yeah, once my kids left, I was just like, I value not cooking. So now I've got to shift my values. I value cooking food where I have it planned out, and I'm not just going down in the kitchen like, what am I going to do? What am I going to eat? But then I sit around like, oh, I don't have anything that I really want to eat. It's no fun eating. It's like, no, you are living out your values, Tyra. You straight up living out your values. Be honest. You don't want to cook because you had to cook for so long. Um, and I value my money. I just don't want to go spending a whole bunch of money, even though a lot of times when I go and eat now, I don't eat a lot, so I can make it stretch. I can make a little it's this place called, I think it's Matt Teriyaki or something like that. I don't know, but they give me enough food. I'm typically going to get 2 meals out of that. So, okay. Let's see here. Taurus values. It's also about storage. It's a little bit about energy. So, you can make some um new moon intentions about that, but it's also about storage. I'm fascinated with storage spaces in the United States. I don't know about any other place, but Taurus is reigning supreme with all these storage facilities. But you may want to set some new moon intentions about what are you storing? What are you keeping? Do you need to get rid of some stuff? Okay. And it is also history. It's think about collections. Taurus is about collections of whatever. It could be it's something like an antique collection. So maybe this has something to do about something you want to collect. What do you collect? I would love to hear from y'all. I collect books by Black people. So if I see you've written a book, I don't care if you're the most known author or not. I just buy the book. And I have a little box that I put all, well, I have multiple boxes now that I put all these books in because, for me, I value Black authors because I was not raised up seeing a whole lot of Black books by Black people. And there's more and more now. And it's just like I want to create my own little library. That is Taurus. So Taurus is also history. So you may want to, set some new moon intentions around connecting with your collections. Do you collect something of value? Maybe something around the library, maybe you're going to start going to the library more or studying history. Taurus can be connected to history. So it's also about outdoors. And it's another reason why I chose this is the time that I want to start my a.k.a. initiation because it's all about connecting with the outdoors. The EFI tradition is about being outside. It's connecting with the forces of nature, and there's no force of nature like Taurus. But more than anything, if I could tell you this, use this moon to set intentions because it is a manifesting moon. Taurus is the most inert, earthy manifestation sign that there is. There, it don't get no better than Taurus when it comes to manifesting. Yeah, Pisces, we might be out there, talking to the universe about what we want, but baby, it's not going to manifest without Taurus. And quite frankly, it's not going to manifest without Virgo or Capricorn. The earth signs, if you want to make something happen in terms of manifestation, you want to connect with the energy of the earth signs because they know how to make things manifest. Virgo says you need to have a to-do list. Capricorn says you need to have a plan. Not always fun and sexy, but this is what they're all about. Oh, last little bit. I can't leave this out. Taurus is all about pleasure. So set some new moon intentions around pleasure. Okay, so let's see here. So we start the month out with Mercury in Pisces, and then it's going to come back into Aries on the 16th. And again, it's something about like look at the 16th and see what comes up for you because it's going to be pushing that 0 degrees of Aries button, and you'll get a little bit of an insight. So even though it's retrograding, it could be some new, fresh idea because Mercury is ideas. Some new, fresh ideas that come to you. Now, it might be a new, fresh idea about something that you've already done. But yeah, definitely be looking for these new ideas. It can be this renewing of the mind. Pisces makes us sleepy and we just want to like watch movies, read things that just kind of make us get away, listen to music. But once Mercury goes into Aries, it'll be more of like, whoo, I'm ready. I'm ready to get up and I want to move. And, it's like the mind is firing. It's like, I don't want to be just kind of like out there, in in the, I was going to say in Vesuvius, but I don't even know what that is. But, just out in the galaxy. I don't want my mind to just be out there. I want to be doing something and, maybe you want to write, maybe you want to talk to people. Mercury likes to move around and, it's like, let me get out and about, go to a festival, something like that. So once it gets back into there, it's just going to be amazing and in Aries, and then it's going to conjunct Neptune yet again. Now this might be a moment, I'm going to even say from the 16th through easily I'm going to say the 19th because Mercury is it's not moving super fast. So let's see what happens the 16th through the 19th. When Mercury conjuncts Neptune, now that could be a day where you can experience something miraculous. That could be a day where you feel like you're really connecting with the unseen world. There's like wisdom coming through, or you're communing with the ancestors, or intuitively you're on fire. I really love that notion. So, but I will say beware of shenanigans, people trying to scam you. Y'all know I'm never going to stop saying that until we get out of this time. So people could be trying to scam you, okay? Woo! So another thing is, so April is definitely this month of like backtracking. So I want y'all to understand, we got to get to May. We'll start feeling like the energy is moving forward, especially once Venus moves direct. But there still is kind of like this energy of like, I'm still working on stuff. I thought I was going to be further down the road at this point, and I'm still working on these kinds of things. So just know it's okay because it's helping you to maybe get to an end of something so that you can just have this amazing fresh new start. Okay. So Mars going back into Leo because Mars went direct at the end of February. And I know everybody is like, oh, Mars retrograde is over, but it has a very long shadow period. Okay. So yeah, it went direct at the end of February, but it's not going to be, I think it's right at the top of May. It won't be until the top of May that Mars is out of that retrograde period or finish going over those retrograde degrees. Okay. So Mars goes back into Leo on the 18th. Now we're going to like that, baby. We're going to like that. Now, this is the most fire we will have seen since the fall. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. And the difference is in the fall, the fire that we had was retrograde. I remember Mars being retrograde right at the top of December. Mercury was retrograde closer to the end of November. So it wasn't even like fire where we're just like, let's just go, charge ahead. Wasn't that kind of fire. This is going to feel like, okay, I'm charging ahead. Let's go. Right. And, Leo is fun. I don't know about you. Yesterday, I went and told my husband, I was like, I'm not having fun. I need to do something fun. I need fun, fun, fun. So, yes, Mars going back into Leo. Fun, 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 right? Neptune is going to immediately trine Neptune. Woo! Yes. So, this is going to feel like a very energetic time of the month, this little middle part. I'm excited. I'm excited. Leo is motivation. So maybe if you haven't felt motivated, you'll feel a little bit of motivation at that time. And Leo is creativity and there is like it's like this creativity where it's all about your gifts and talents. So it's like this little channel. I want you to think about the things that you're good at. You're really good at these things. So good that other people are like, how do you do that? And you're like, what? This is easy. I want you to think about those kinds of things that is for you. Um, it's like you just have an intuitive knowing. I want you to think about people who 'cause for some people, it might be you just have this knack for knowing how to be more loving and caring. You just have this really good ear. So it doesn't have to be anything super creative, but I want you to think about a little bit of your superpower. This could be a time where you're very in tune to this superpower. And maybe you're going to be given some understanding of its purpose and meaning in your life. There may be some opportunity that comes through that will support you in that. Okay. But yeah, Mars is gonna love being in Leo. It has been struggling being in Cancer because it's fall in Cancer, which means that it's the opposite of the sign that it's really good in. Mars is what is called exalted in Capricorn, which means that if it's in Cancer, it's struggling because Cancer is opposite Capricorn. And so it'll be so happy because it's a fire planet. Cancer is watery and it wants to love and it's emotional. And Mars is just like, I gotta wear these clothes. I want you to imagine having to put on clothes that where you're just like, this is not me. I don't want to wear these clothes. I don't like these clothes. It doesn't reflect my personality. That's Mars in Cancer. So when it gets into Leo, whoo, it's gonna be like party. Let's have some fun. It's gonna be like amped. Okay. Fire and fire, baby. So that makes me excited. Um, so then the sun moves into Taurus on the 19th. And yeah, the sun moving into Taurus, it just brings up all things Taurus, all the things that I talked about earlier. And I just want to just, you know, whisper it because right now I know on the day of this video, it is still Mars in Aries. And I mean, excuse me, the sun in Aries. And I'm not taking anything from the Aries out there, baby. But happy early sun in Taurus. It's your season, Taurus. Happy birthday, happy new moon, all that kind of good stuff. And let's see here. Okay. So something huge happening is Saturn conjuncting Rahu. And that is going to happen on the 21st. So Rahu, that's how this particular author creates her. That's what she calls the North Node. Rahu and the North Node are the same thing. Pretty much, let's see here. Today is April 2nd. Baby Saturn is already conjunct Rahu. Okay. So, you know, Saturn is a boss planet. All right. But it's like it's very karmic and it's all about cycles. It's about you only get what you put in. Like you're not going to get anything extra. It doesn't like giving a whole lot. So in a way it 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 can be something that blocks you because Saturn is like we're going to move slowly, we're going to move methodically. Everything must be decent and in order. And if it's not, then Saturn is just not having this. So here we have yet another conjunction with the North Node inside of Pisces. And as I see it, it is time to transform that inner world. It is time to continue to transform that inner landscape. I even think that it's time to, you know, settle up some karma. And perhaps in doing that, it will help to remove some of the blocks that you have. Or the other thing is kind of like, you know, Saturn is like, do it no matter what, no matter what, because Saturn is about success. Saturn wants to complete a thing. And so maybe with conjuncting with the North Node, the very thing that you need to do, settling up karma, maybe, or dealing with something in your subconscious mind that's blocking you. This is the very transit that you need to help move past all of that. But it's never easy with Saturn. So it's kind of like, what hard thing do you actually need to do? Saturn wants you to have a plan. It's like, have you been following your plan? Why are you not following your plan? Do you want this new thing? You got to follow the plan. I think Saturn might be saying, hey, we're going to bring a new plan. So I want you to open yourself up to a new plan that is unfolding for you around that time. Well, now through I'm just going to say all of April. I want you to open yourself up to this new way that Saturn has you working, but it is from the inside out because Pisces is the inner world. You know, Saturn is death. And so I want you to just be thinking about um what do you need to die to? Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's death and liberation. But whatever this thing is, whatever it is that you need to do, it's like you're gonna have to make a choice, and it's gonna turn your life around. You're gonna be able to do things that you didn't ever believe that you were able to do. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not gonna be easy. You know, I see Pisces as sacrifice. And, I was watching Cory Booker, for better or for worse, you know, I'm not dogging nobody who's trying to help us here in the United States right now. And all I could think about, you know, he wanted to get up and bring, you know, bring the message of this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to cut Medicaid, which is Pisces. It's like, how do you help support people who are down and out? Pisces wants to help people who are down and out. So that's interesting because I hadn't even thought about that until just now. And he was hoping to beat the longest speech ever made in the Senate, which was 24 minutes 24 hours, 18 minutes. And when I found out he went to 25, I don't know if it was like 25 on the dot. I said to myself, okay, he made a sacrifice because he could have stopped at 24 hours, 19 minutes, but he really and truly did go as far as he could. He talked about how he fasted before and he was, living off ketones. He didn't even have to stop and go to the bathroom because he was sweating so much and he actually got dehydrated and just I guess talking and sweating, he had on that suit. He didn't have to go to the bathroom. It was just all sweating out of him. I said, "That's a sacrifice." And I love that he admitted he is a little Johnny come lately. That's the kind of thing I want y'all to be thinking about. What are you willing to sacrifice? What sacrifice are you willing to make in order to get this rebirth? That kind of sends chills through me because I'm like, what is it? What do I have to do? Okay. So yeah, that's huge. And I know it's exact on the 21st. So maybe on the 21st of April, a lot will be on and popping at that point in time, personally and in the collective. So don't be surprised. I think, you know, to me, March seemed like a lot. And for me, April felt a little more hopeful just because there's just been so many big shifts and then the retrogrades are ending, but this is pretty big. This is huge. This has far-reaching implications. Saturn meeting with Rahu. There's a lot that I'm telling y'all need to keep your eyes and ears open. Don't be surprised is really what I want to say. Don't be surprised if you see something happen that is of epic proportion. So, whoo, Saturn is invisible when it conjuncts the North Node, but then it becomes visible on the 25th. I am so happy about that. I do not know what to do. We need some Saturnian energy. At least that's what I'm thinking. I hope it works in our favor because sometimes Saturnian energy is the government, but it's not in a government sign right now. Saturn is in Pisces, heading its way to. So I'm hoping the governments that aren't doing right, I'm hoping that makes them they have to reap some stuff. Anywho, let's see here. I think that's all that I have there. So if you're watching this video in the snippet version, thank you so much for being here. And now I'm going to get back to my live stream. Yay, y'all have been. Oh, let me take this down. I'll do a reading in a minute. I want to connect with y'all. Okay, let me see here. I may not show everything, but I'm going to look at the comments. How was that for y'all? How are you feeling? Is there anything that you want to that is standing out for y'all for April? For me, I'm like, whoa, this month is whew, it's like a restructuring month, I guess you could say. It's a restructuring month. Mm. This time and how we can utilize. Okay, so Ogun. I always call on Ogun whenever I work, in circles, calling in his protective energy. Hero code to Ogun is the same energy as Aries and Mars. So we are in a very Aries, season right now. So that kind of matches why his energy would be more highlighted. Um, you know, Ogun is a warrior energy, which brings protection. And so maybe some of us want to invoke that energy. I invoke Ogun energy all of the time, protecting me and my family. It is also the energy of course, the warrior and fighting and bravery and courage. And I do believe that this is a time for us to really connect with our inner Ogun, our inner warrioress, if you want to use a warrior, a feminine archetype or goddess. But Ogun, there's no question. This is a very fierce energy and all about the energy that is needed right now. We're at unprecedented times, and so we have to have bravery, we have to have courage, we have to, have that ability to move forward. So that's something else that I would say. And there was one other thing I was going to say about Ogun. Oh, Ogun. Oh, this could go with this Saturnian energy because Ogun is clearing the way, and a lot of times Ogun is. I believe Ogun can clear a block. Don't get me wrong, but Ogun also forages or clears a path that has not yet been taken. So we are at a time right now on a path that has not been taken. And so his energy is it's like a pioneering type of energy. And if you've dreamt about him, I would wonder, like, do you need protection, or is he asking you to be brave in some kind of way and have courage to take action and move forward? Because Ogun is not trying to go back. Ogun, even though Mars in Cancer right now, Ogun might be like, yeah, I'm a little nostalgic right now. I'm fighting for my ancestors, or it's something ancestral with Ogun in Cancer. I'm trying to think, is there anything I have been doing? I mean, I love the ancestors. I talk to the ancestors all the time. Well, I guess making this Eleke and or creating this Eleke initiation process, it does have me hyper focused on working with the ancestors. So um yeah, is Ogun wanting to clear a path for you? Maybe it could be something like that. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that, Irene. So dreaming, I'm seeing a lot here with dreams. My mother came to me in my dreams. I wrote it, I put it in my Mighty Networks. I had asked my mom, "Oh, I need you to come to me in my dreams along with my grandma." And sure enough, she showed up. Ah. Oh, it's a struggle train at this point. The bus doesn't have enough seats. You know what? All I can say is, yeah, yeah. Still learning. How are you, TJ? Soul inspired. Welcome. Glad you are here. Oh my goddess. Whoo. Wow. I am so sorry you got stuck in the elevator. Woo, baby. I love that you're Gemini, so you can laugh about stuff like that. Me with my little Pisces Scorpio stuff, I'd be like, I need therapy. Oh, sorry to hear about your mom, Diza. Mm. That's right. I'm gonna kind of skate through some of the. I'm not gonna show all the comments. Yay! I look forward to when you can join. Okay, so I talked about the relationships in the process of starting over entirely socially. Yeah, so I can imagine that is the case for some people. There's a whole new reboot. Got to find new friends, new places to hang, new things to do. I can imagine that is something um, a lot of people are working on. Yes, I need to do this. Okay, I asked, what did y'all collect? Books and crystals. I love that. Natasha collects coins. I love that. If you see a coin on the ground, love it. Okay, we need to talk. I need your books. I need your books. Send me a message, Dark Diza. Bella. You collect everything. I can imagine you have a stellium. I don't know if all people with stelliums are like that, but I live with a person with stellium. I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot. Okay, you just said you cleaned it out. Okay, so another collection, collect black dolls, especially fashion dolls. Yes. Yes. And you're younger than me. So for you to say there were no dolls, I'm like, wow. Um, love that. Journaling or travel. Awesome. Yes. Okay. I am just kind of zooming through the comments. Asheo, we're going to send good energy your way. May that happen. Mm. Please do post a picture in the community. Oh, thank you. Okay, we got the black doll fixer upper queen here. Ah. Mm. Okay. So some of us are down for a new plan. Um, we have a Leo, soul inspired. That makes sense. Soul inspired. You're a Leo, of course. I need to die to envy and greed. Asheo. So it is out there in the universe. But the main thing is this. This is the kind of shifting that's going to happen because you do something. It's like you're going to really have to consciously make the effort because that's Saturn. Mhm. May it guide you. May it guide you. Yes, we're calling in income, doing work that you love. Asheo, soul inspired. Yeah, March was a spiritual boot camp. I love that. April as an application. So March was the boot camp, and you get to apply all the things that you learned in boot camp. Ah. I'm glad you mentioned this. You're making me think about, I don't know what it was that I read or heard, but it was kind of like just making sure that we understood it. I'm going to explain it in the way that I got it. At some point, I thought to myself, some of the things that I want is because society told me I wanted these things. And I don't know if I actually want them. And so I'm just going to set up some new standards for myself. Like, what is successful for me in my life? Because I'm only I can only control me. And why do I have to let society, why do I have to deal with these imposed, you're successful if you do this? I think each person needs to decide what is success for them. And one thing about Saturn and just dealing with this tougher energy, even we can think about Ogun, Mars, is you just make it up in your mind. This is what is success for me. And you just don't care what anyone thinks. S- put on the blinders. And I have found that people who haven't chased worldly success, they are living the life that they have chosen to live, and they are so at peace with it and they're happy with it, but it doesn't look like what society said is successful. Those are the people oftentimes who it's like, wow, I want to hang around this person. I want to listen to this person talk because they have so much joy. They have so much peace, you know? So I think that's important for us to know about. Catherine, how are you? So happy you are here. Greetings, Felicia, big sister. How are you? So, yeah, thank y'all so much for, letting me do that astrology report without really interacting. And I appreciate all that you shared. I loved hearing about the collections that Taurus inspires us to have. And I can see Diza having the toys. I mean, the dolls. I can see that, knowing your astrology, a little bit about it. So yeah, I do want to use the Black Tarot deck today. So yeah, let's look at the Black Tarot deck. And I'll probably do one more just because I have to pull from the goddesses. Because, baby, I'm all things goddess here. So let's see what What lies ahead for us in the month of April? Um, let's see here. Mhm. Here we go. What are y'all feeling? Who's feeling what around energy from the tarot? Okay, let's do this one. We're going to do this one. Give me one more. What do we need to know, Black Tarot? Oh, hold on one second. These little cards, they are tripping. Okay. I don't know what I've been doing with this deck. It's a little bit of a wreck. Black Tarot. I need one more card from you. Right here. Why? Why? Okay. So 3-card spread. Interesting. Let's see here. So the first one I pulled, interestingly, is a wand card, and wand is connected to fire. So this is the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Again, it has to do with fire. Themes are creativity, task, inspiration, goals. Okay. 7 of Wands. Oh, interesting. I brought up protection earlier with Irene's question. So the 7 of Wands, April, protection, challenge. So on here, it says a woman smudges the air at a protest in front of armed forces. The 7 of Wands represents fighting for what you believe is just, defending yourself, and holding strong in establishing your boundaries. This card asks you to make decisions aligned with your inner being and truth rather than coddling a wounded ego. I love this. Be your own activist. Be your own activist. Kind of goes back to when I was talking about Neptune in Aries. Love that. The 7 of Wands reminds you of all the sacrifices, adaptation, and resilience required of your ancestors for you to be where you are today. Black Tarot delivering the fire literally, as usual. Call upon that strength of your ancestors. Call upon that energy of your ancestors. So something you can use: sweetgrass, tobacco, and cedar are traditional African American spiritual tools for cleansing oneself, space, and tools. The card encourages you to hold your ground. You will not be unseated. Make the choice not to compromise the best of you for anyone. Here's another one that I mentioned: know your worth. When I talked about Taurus. Ooh. So things you want to be thinking about: accepting one's limits, choosing between safety and health and what people expect of you, prioritizing one's health, being fired. Other things to think about: fighting injustice, multiple jobs and overworking, taking care of dependents, being the victim of attacks from numerous people. So it's important for you in the month of April to make time to disconnect and cleanse. And baby, get that smudge out. Smudge, smudge, and smudge some more all month long. So this really goes with the astrology that we have been wow, the astrology of April. I'd love to hear what y'all think about it. So the second card I pulled is the 2 of baskets, and baskets is watery in this particular deck. And that makes sense if you think about it. We do have a lot of watery energy. There's so much happening in Pisces. Pisces is doing a lot. I'm gonna I'm gonna need Pisces just a tinge. Turn it down just a little bit, not too much, but it's like, come on, Pisces, what are we doing here? Celebrations, themes are celebrations, emotions or feelings, and relationships. Again, this is the two of baskets. So let me get there. Mm, interesting because we talked about relationships earlier, didn't we? Two of baskets, traits, mutual attraction, and partnership. So, what you see on this card is a couple has planter boxes full of flowers that they are about to transplant to their garden. They've reached a point in their healing journey where a true partnership can grab root and they can start building their life together. Remember, we talked about how Venusian April is. It could be a lot of emphasis on relationship. Okay. Both individuals can make solid decisions founded in love. This is what it means to be vulnerable, to be able to give freely and to warmly accept and receive love. You must offer yourself wholly to the relationship and trust your partner to do the same. True intimacy means allowing oneself to be truly seen and knowing you are safe, unadorned. Oh my goddess. So I think that that's as we look at our relationships, because we talked about how much relationships could be coming up this month. Those are the things that you want to be thinking about. Like maybe it's a question of, do you have true connection? I was listening to someone talk the other day about how do people get caught up with cults, and in a totalitarian society, how is it that people start falling for, the despots and, the people who just want to control every aspect of your life? Again, cults, how do they get caught up in it? They feel so disconnected from themselves, from other people. And even I had here lately have just kind of been like, let me say it this way. I miss connection in my community. Over maybe the last 9 years, I have like retreated because it did not feel safe. And, it's like a lot of people kind of showed me something about themselves after Obama won, because I'm in the homeschool community in Tennessee. And it was like, it used to be a normal place to live. It was going to be people on different sides, all different vantage points. And we could all coexist here. And then it almost became like, I used to tell people I would get witch hunted. This is even before Obama. I would get witch hunted in Tennessee. And so it's made me retreat. And that's not who I am. But I tell you what, if you're not connected to people, this is what I know personally. I started feeling like it was like a tree that is slowly dying on the inside. Yes, I have my husband here. Guess he's at work right now, right? But I shouldn't just be interacting with one person. So it's one of the reasons I got back out and started, teaching dance again, because I was like, I can't, I feel almost ill, body, mind, spirit, emotions. That's how important relationships are. And you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of relationships. You have one, maybe two really good relationships where you feel connected. That can take you very, very far. And we need relationships. This is a little area that I struggle with. It's like I can't always show up and be happy. That is who I naturally am. I'm optimistic. But if I show up and I'm having a bad day, I need to be able to have a bad day. I need to be unadorned, especially if we're thinking about relationships with loved ones. I mean, with a beloved, like romantic type relationship. You need to be able to show up and be unadorned, and your partner needs to be the same way. The we have to forget about this level of perfection. A lot of women my age kind of wonder, can I find a man, that will want me? I'm like, you think Men our age are perfect. We dealing with our stuff and they dealing with theirs. That's just what it means. Once we get to this age, we all dealing with the same thing. And we just need to stop looking for, again, going back, these societal mores and values and standards. For me, it's kind of like, women, look for a man who loves you. Now, I believe in doing what you need to do, and I know maybe not everybody's in a relationship with a man. That's the relationships I know the best. This applies to any relationship. It doesn't matter the gender of the people in the relationship. But one thing I do know is that you need somebody who will love you, who no matter what, no matter how you show up, they're good. But by the same token, Venus, Libra, this is not a raggedy energy. Okay, this is the energy that rules partnerships. Let's talk about Leo. Leo is a sign that relate has to do with dating. Both of those signs are models. So we need to do what we need to do. All right. I don't need to be like perfect every day, all day long. But baby, look, I'm trying to show up and look decent and in order, desirable too, right? But you got to have both. You need to just, if you're having a bad day, it needs to be okay for you to have a bad day. If you don't want to dress up that day or whatever it is, or a moment, sometimes it's going to be a little bit of a season where you're really struggling. And maybe these are the topics that are going to be coming up for a lot of us at this time. So it could be love, it could be friendships, maybe it's a business partnership that you're thinking about. And it's like, hey, we need to get this thing refreshing. This business partnership is, it's like we got to get it balanced. We got to get it so that both of us, or however, whoever's in the partnership, however many people, where it is, yeah, it's a balance. And not one person has to be like the leader, always, like the face and just so perfect. We got to get this thing balanced out. So these are topics that I feel the Black Tarot deck is asking us to really lean into. Oh, I love this. Can you be tech free? Can you be tech free? Either on a date, or you're sitting around talking to your auntie at her house. Can you put your phone away? Or, sit around and talk to your kids, your partner, your bestie. Now, some of us are talking to besties over the tech, but I'm talking about these in-person interactions. Take the phone, put it away, or whatever the technology is. Get rid of the technology and have a real conversation and real connection. All right. Okay, so here we go, the last one. Let me just show you the Fool. I pulled the Fool card. Can you see that at the bottom? The Fool. I kind of like the way this Fool looks. Y'all know. I'm like, this is a little bit cut Fool. He's kind of handsome. Okay, so let's see what he says. I know I'm being silly, y'all, but I mean it. I'm like, I kind of like the way the Fool looks. He's hot. Oh, here we go. The Fool. New beginnings. We talked about that, right? New beginnings. Also, innocence. Aries can be very violent, but it's actually a sign that has to do with youth, being young and innocent. And also the word yes. So here we have a young man stepping into the unknown. It is a time of new beginnings. The daisies and wings behind him indicate innocence and purity. Where are the daisies? Oh, I see now. Can y'all see the daisies? I had to focus. The Fool symbolizes the alpha and omega, the unlimited potential we have at the outside set of the journey. Now, check this out. Alpha, Aries, Omega, Pisces. And we're in between those two signs. The unlimited potential we have at the outset of the journey. Pisces, unlimited potential. Aries, onset of a journey. Being everything and nothing, The Fool acts on the pulls of creation, intuition, and impulse. Each of us starts our journey as the naive fool, working, learning, and growing into our true selves by embodying every stage of the major arcana. We walk through the continuous cycle, eventually emerging as the enlightened fool. I love this. So, this is what you want to consider for the month of April 2025. Are you living in the present? My goddess, that is something that I've been telling myself, Tyra, I need you to come right here in this now moment. So, are you living in the present moment? Are you ready to begin? That's something that I think would be good for everybody to think about. Are you ready to begin? Ooh, what time is it? Okay. Um, Lastly, what calls at your being to live out and achieve in your life? What are you being called to live out and achieve in your life? So I just want you to be open to that in this month, right? It's a lot of shifting and fluidity all year long. And so maybe you're just kind of getting the message. I'm not saying that you got to go for it, but maybe you're just going to get clarity over that, about that. You may want to work with the flower daisy. This is an air element. Work with your crown chakra. An affirmation is I look before I leap. I dare to follow my calling. All righty. So that's powerful. That is a powerful, powerful card for this time, this month. I mean, it completely and totally matches that. Okay, let's see. Let me um yes, I still do paid astro readings. Goddessbodymindspirit.com. You can go there and see the readings, or if you the link to my store, go to my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. Okay. Going to be fighting calmly a whole systemic entity for my right to work. I heard that. This aligns with what I pulled from my Metu Neter yesterday. Love that, Gina. I'm working with the group starting a farm cooperative. That card is on point. Filling the paperwork this month. Nice. I love that. Oh, that is so exciting. Even the fact, was that wands is water, but it was such an earthy picture and notion. So exciting. That's what I've been feeling the last 5 days. I've had no connection out of my home to out of my home. I believe that time is finally coming to an end. Yes. It's not fun. I never imagined I would be in this position. So yeah, I gotta be working on it too. Oh, I just found a nice man and friend. I won't run him off like I have done others in the past. And yes, that is exactly right. Asheo. I continue to work on letting people in what am I- divinely put into my life. Very good. That's right, Bliss. Ashe. May this one bloom peacefully. Day. Okay, you see the daisies. Of course you do, Deezer. You got that eye. You got a knack for that. Ah, this set of cards together are cards. Yes, are interesting. Let me kind of think about that. You're right. 7 of Wands. Got to protect something. Let me put this up really quickly, just so it helps me to know what I'm doing when I go to snip the videos. Okay, so we had the 7 of Wands, which is all about protection and standing your ground, being your own activist. And the very next one was all about connecting with another and being vulnerable. So, to a certain degree, it's like two different worlds. It's being able to kind of navigate two different assignments, because on the one hand it's like you're putting your foot down, you're going to be your own activist, and then on the other hand you're being asked to be ultra vulnerable. Okay, one of the things that I think I remember learning years ago was, if I trust myself, I know that I will me and the divine will know when something or somebody is not for me. And that's how I was able to be more vulnerable. I trusted that I was going to be my own advocate. I trusted that I was going to be able to protect myself no matter what. And to me, that's how you're able to hold both assignments. And a lot of it comes from, I mean, I have to be honest with you. If you think you're going to protect yourself, it's because you protected yourself. So for some of us, in order to get to that next level of vulnerability, it's like you have to take that time to really say, I'm going to advocate for myself. It's not about fighting everything off and everybody off. I think about what Bliss said. Some people are so protective, and I'm not saying this is bliss, but this is what it makes me think about. You're so protective that you don't want anyone to get in, right? So we don't want to go to that extreme. It's more of, when people have done things that are not okay with me, boundaries, we can even go back to that Saturn conjuncting the North Node. Where do we need to establish some boundaries, some new boundaries that are coming up? Um, so it's like, I know my limits. I know when people have crossed the boundaries that I have set up, and I do something about it. I don't just let them do that. You will be able to be more vulnerable because oh, I have advocated for myself and I will advocate. I love meeting people like that. Like, I don't even worry about people taking advantage of me because I'm gonna call them out. Not everybody's like that. If you've experienced trauma, you just have a little bit more of a watery way. That's how I'll say it. You may not feel exactly that way. Okay. So you have to learn how to do it. You have to cultivate that inner warrioress within you. So that's how I'm seeing these two cards together. We've got to do both. And by the same token, the Fool. What is the Fool saying? It's kind of like, when you think about children, they have, first of all, they're very resilient, but it's almost like this magical part of life. And maybe it is a little bit of, there is a little bit of a protection. And I know there's so many children that experience so many bad things, so maybe in some regards, that doesn't happen for every child. But if we just kind of think about children and how they, even if they experience something terrible, they still have this optimism in life, this innocence allows them to believe. And we get so cynical, and there's just so much built up in us, and maybe this is a time of getting reset so that we can all get a little bit of a clean new slate and be open to, the universe is always conspiring in my favor. I can expect good things. I may not see all the things that I want in my life, but I can still expect it. I also love how little children have so much joy and happiness from the things that they are imagining in their lives. They don't even need to go to Disney World. They can pretend that they're there, and they're so happy. Innocence is like that vulnerability. It allows in what you desire. And for me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that's not something that I really feel is happening for me naturally right now. Because I do feel, I've been working through feeling that, like, this world right now, and me in this world right now, it's like, I don't know. I feel a little bit betrayed, right? Um, but what ultimately can happen for us is becoming, what did they call it? The empowered fool, enlightened fool. This is a month where we can get on that path to being the enlightened fool, where we can keep that ability to take action and new beginnings, and every day is fresh and new. And that's something that Aries kind of has going for them. Aries, they might get down, but they're just going to get right back up, and it's like, all right, let's try again. And so that's, to me, kind of how I see this card. It's like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. Yesterday may have been down and out, but we're gonna try it again. And that innocence, that playfulness that we can bring in. And just, I am open to new beginnings. So some of the new beginnings is going to come from you standing your ground, being your own activist, being vulnerable in community and connecting with other people. And that will open us up to continuing on this path of new beginnings, innocence, becoming the enlightened fool. So that's how I tie them all together. That's a nice little, yeah, that's a nice little message for working with April. Mhm. That's me for the past 5 years, keeping everyone at arm's length to feel safe. Yeah. Yeah, we go through, I have learned in astrology, we have these periods of time. I'm tropical astrologer, and these time periods last 10 years, 9 months. Now, within them, there's sub periods that might would allow for you to have a little bit more of an open energy. But sometimes we're gonna go through a period. Let's say you're in a Saturn period. That sub period lasts 3 years. And if you're in a major 10 years, 9-month period for Saturn, and then 3 of those months is Saturn, yeah. It all depends on the order of your planets. But if that next planet were, say, Mars or something like that, 5 years easily, you could keep people at arm's bay. But I just kind of suspect that it's going to be a natural unfolding, this connection that we're going to be seeking this month. Mhm. Very good, Bliss. Yes. Once you understand your boundaries, you trust yourself because you're not going to you're not going to just let anybody do anything. Very good. Yay. Every day is a new beginning. It's a great way to look at life. I remember, I don't know if y'all have seen the movie 50 First Dates. And I used to tell people all the time, watch 50 First Dates. Now, we don't want to be stuck in a loop like she was, but literally every day was a new day, a fresh new day. It was the same fresh new day until Adam Sandler came in, his character. But um, the way that I talked about it is a lot of times what we do is exactly what happened in that movie. If you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, I'm giving away the end. But in order for Adam Sandler's wife in that movie, I don't remember his name in the movie, but in order for her to know her life, he had a video, and she would wake up and she saw this note, put this video in, and it would show a day where there was an accident. I think she lost a brother with this accident, and that's how she got stuck in this loop. And then it showed her meeting him. This woman had a baby, and he puts it all on this tape so that when she wakes up, she sees everything that's happening, and then she comes out and she kind of knows the assignment. That's essentially what we do. But still, you can choose which VHS tape you're going to put in that VCR. You can choose it. You don't have to put the same one in, like she had to have the same one. And actually, it wasn't the same one because every time something new happened, it had to be put on there. But you can choose what you want to upload into your consciousness day in and day out. So thank you for that. Thank you. That movie really was something. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies. Okay, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go on ahead and get off. I have a coaching call coming up pretty soon, so I need to get my vocal cords a little bit soothed. So let's stitch out. Keita May, are you proud of me? If you're still here, we're going to stitch out. I want to ask you to tell me or share with the community. Where are we? It says stitching in, but what are you going to stitch out with? Just type your name and what you're stitching out. I am Tirra. Hold on, let me drink a little sip of water. Let me tell y'all what I'm stitching out with. I'm stitching out with grounding. I needed to see the astrology of April to know the assignment. And I really love this tarot. I'm just gonna pull a really quick African goddess rising because I always need a goddess, and I forgot to do that before we leave. But going ahead and stitch out. What are you stitching out with? What are you taking from the circle? That's what this is all about. Who would like to speak to us today? This is Mawulisa, which is actually feminine and masculine. Mawulisa. I think this is out of Ghana. I always say that, and then it's like, no, it's a different. Oh, Benin. Yes, that's right. Benin. Mawulisa is the force of the mother, father goddess. Mawu is the moon, the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun, the divine masculine. And they came together during a fine eclipse to create cosmic power. So we just had an eclipse. So maybe we're going to tap into our inner power this month. This is the guidance. You are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. You are sacred. You are magic. Now that you now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. Rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. And stop pretending to be less than what you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same force that birthed the sun and the moon. We got to remember that. Not only were you birthed by it, that means you are from it. You are it. So the goddess declaration, my power shines forth from within. Wow. Ma woo Lisa. Let me see what y'all are stitching out with. Stay on me. Don't ever sleep. Stay on me, Keita May. I'm gonna turn on a little music. I know I might warble my voice a little bit, but I don't care. I want to have a little bit of as I go through the stitch outs. Where are we? I think it's this one. I am Mystic Storm, and I'm stitching out with momentum. I am Bella, and I'm stitching out with faith and gratitude. I'm Keita May, and I'm stitching out with being present in the now. Okay, I gotta do that. Gina, stitching out shadow assignment. What are my boundaries, and how do I honor them? Go, Gina. Bliss, I'm stitching out with new beginnings, with love and patience. Nice. I'm Felicia, and I'm taking smudging, burn something, cleanse, and release. My name's Natasha, and I'm stitching out with love. Yes, have a great rest of the week. Let me blow out a candle. Our circle remain unbroken. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your week. Until next time, let's do this, goddesses. You got this. All right, let's turn the music up. Great day. Yes. Wonderful. All right, queens. About to head on out. Thank you so much.